Thank you for watching Radicards TV on Radicards.com. I'm your host, Patrick. Today we have a special guest today, and we're interviewing Nathanial Blackford. He's a Barry Bonds collector, and I'm really proud to host him today. Thank you, Daniel, for taking this opportunity.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, my pleasure. Are you excited or nervous about this interview?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I love to talk cards. I could talk cards all day long.
Awesome.
I'm sure that's what most of your guests say when you get them on here.
Yeah, a lot of us, most of us seem to really enjoy the conversation. I haven't had one negative interaction, so that's been good. So, that's really nice to hear. So I have to ask you, and I ask this of all my guests, how did you hear about Radicards?
Well, I've seen you on Facebook and then your YouTube videos, and then I got turned on to your channel. I don't know. I've always watched the videos, but then when my buddy Ben, another fellow Bonds collector, he got interviewed about a month or two back, and he was telling me that he was going to be on an episode. So then I started watching all the back videos at that point.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I love watching your videos, like when you just go do pickups and you're just showing cards and talking about them for 5 minutes on each card, talking about why you like them. Just really entertaining. I love your videos. So.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. I have a lot of fun conversing about cardboard, essentially, just stuff I like to pick up. So I really appreciate you watching and enjoying our videos. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So I'll start out really lightly by asking you, at what age did you start collecting baseball cards? What got you into it?
All right, so it's kind of a mixed answer on this. My first interaction with baseball cards was like I'd go to my grandma's house, and I remember my dad had his collection from when he was a kid, and there was like this shoebox full of like 59 and 60 cards, and I remember like going through them and looking through them, and this is probably like in 1978 or so. And so when we go to the liquor store, my dad and I would go to the liquor store. He'd pick me up a pack of baseball cards, and this went on for about a year. And then I didn't really collect much after that until I was about 12 or 13 or maybe 11, whatever it was, in 1983. And that's when I started buying packs on my own. So, but I always had the love for the hobby. Every time I'd go to my grandma's, I'd always want to look at the stack of cards from when my dad was a kid. I was just drawn to them immediately.
What do you like about collecting baseball cards?
As a collector, I just like the kind of like the fellowship of collecting among other collectors. I love trading. I love trying to help people out with their collections. I love it when people find cards for my collection. I like looking at the cards. I like the anticipation of finding a card, like a tough to find card, one that you might look for 5 or 10 years. I love what isn't there to like about the hobby? But like in the last 5 years, like interaction online has made the hobby even more enjoyable. I've met a lot of people online, and like through YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. It's just made it that much more enjoyable. And some of the friendships I've found with fellow collectors through online. There was a while there where it was like I would be collecting, and people would come to my house, and I'd show them cards, and they weren't interested in them, and it was like, all right, well, this get it over with. But now with all the online interaction, people, it's fun to share the hobby with other people.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely, I can completely agree with you.
Well, first of all, I'm a Bay Area guy, and I've always been a Giants fan throughout my childhood. And I dabbled in Barry Bonds a little when I was a kid, but he was mostly like a Pittsburgh guy when I was younger. And then I was big into McGuire and Sosa and Griffey like in '98. And then when those guys just, I just kind of lost interest in them in 2000, around 2000, I just started really locking in on Bonds. And then 2001, when he had a single season home run record, I was full blown, I'd shift my focus from all the other players and just narrowed it right down to Barry Bonds only.
Does his reputation with steroids affect your perception of Barry Bonds, and if so, how?
It has to, and some, I can't say it doesn't have zero impact on my opinion of bonds. I mean, of course, like especially as a collector, when all the information was coming out about his steroid use and the trial and all that, it was just like, oh man, I got all these cards of this guy, and that was the roughest time. But as the years have gone by, it doesn't really bother me anymore. It's just like, because that's what baseball was then. And I mean, I could go on and talk about the steroid era for hours and hours on end, but I won't do that. I mean, I've never met Bonds or anything like that, but as far as like his reputation as a player, obviously I would prefer that he had never done PEDs and achieved what he's achieved. But nevertheless, I mean, he was just by far the best player I ever saw play the game. I mean, he was just unbelievably good. I mean, no one pitched to him, and he still hit.
What was your first Barry Bonds card, and how many unique Barry Bonds cards do you have now? And feel free to provide specific stats if you can.
Okay, all right. So I haven't done a count in a while, but I know that I have over 4,000 different unique Barry Bonds cards, so it's getting up there. I'm getting up there. The first one, I can show you an example. Everyone has seen this card here.
Oh, the 87.
But this is the first one. Yeah. I remember getting this as a kid. I remember being in high school, and some kid had like 3 of these. And this was in class. It was in geometry class. And so I told him I wanted to buy all 3 of them off of him. And I think I remember buying all 3 of these off him for like $7 each or something like that. And that's like probably back in 87, 88. I was just excited to get an 87 Fleer rookie card of Barry Bonds.
How do you catalog your progress? Do you keep a checklist in Excel, Google Sheet, or something else?
I should, but I don't. I keep it all up here. And I have a really, really, really bad habit of buying cards I already have.
Yeah.
And I've talked with people ad nauseum about, I got to get the checklist. I got to do something on Excel. And I guess I just don't want to take the time to put all that together, because a Bonds checklist would just take forever. This is one of them. This is from 2006 Triple Threads with the auto.
Yeah.
So I love that card. With from 2006 Finest.
I've never seen that one before. Wow.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Perfect right there.
All right, I'm trying not to get the glare on it. But yeah,
I
love that card.
Immaculate is a great product.
Yeah, took me about 13 years to find, and I just picked it up about a year, maybe a little over a year ago. It's the 73 Topps Chrome Black
refractor, yeah,
of Barry Bonds, the 93 refractor. That's a must-have. As you can see, I'm a refractor guy.
Oh yeah, black refractor. I feel like I just saw that recently somewhere online.
Then the 97 gold embossed Finest refractor.
That's a big one.
I wish the glare wasn't so bad here. That's a 1 of 1.
Oh, nice. Is that the framed version?
Yeah, the white refractor frame version.
I love it. Oh yes, the gold team, Finest team. Those are very, very hard to find. Is that the refractor?
Yeah, that's a gold refractor. I have all 3 refractors, but I figured I'd show the gold one. And this is a favorite of the 90s, the Man refractor.
Oh, yes, that is a favorite.
The gold refractor from Bowman Chrome. Those are like numbered to 25.
Oh yes, yeah, very difficult card to find.
The gold dome from
yes, those are fantastic.
These are beautiful cards.
They are just beautiful cards.
Yeah, I've never had a video camera do this card any justice of mine.
Oh, those are great. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple
really
of these. Relic cards that don't feature a jersey or a bat. This one is like a hat relic.
Oh, right.
So kind of the oddball relics that you don't see every day, I kind of prefer. The Duflex.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
From Pinnacle.
Yes, the 97 Pinnacle certified.
Yeah. This is not the older ones, but I don't have from the 90s. This one's from 2003. Love all those die cuts. I'm a die cut kind of guy. I mean, these are impossible to find because it's from a cheap product.
Is that
the Rave?
Rave, that's okay. Yeah.
Found this at my LCS. They had it for $15. I didn't realize what it was till I got it home.
Really?
But yeah, it's the one numbered to 50. What is it? 50 of the white suede sets.
Oh, nice.
This one is from 2007. I think there's like 24 cards. They're all numbered to 50.
Love it.
And then the 2006, there's 18 or 19 cards, and they're all numbered to 50. Put out some good stuff.
Oh, yes.
It has like a wristband and a fielding glove. That's why I like this card. Just unique, different relic pieces.
Absolutely.
Patch cards from Upper Deck where it says it's a patch. Parallels from the old Pacific.
Ah, yes. I love Pacific. I'm a huge fan of that brand. Oh, that's a nice
Here's another
one.
fun one with like a hat, bat, and jersey relic.
It's Topps
Kind of a
Tribute.
fun card. Yeah, Tribute.
As with many extensive categories, we often have to pick a focus and stick to it. Do you have a focus in your collecting strategy? And if so, what is it and why did you pick it? So, for example, some people focus on certain years or certain brands or certain types of cards or do you have something like that?
So when I first started super collecting bonds, I focused only on refractors. I didn't really pay attention to anything else. So that's why I'm just now getting familiar with a lot of the other inserts from the 90s because I was all about refractors. And I have almost every single Barry Bonds refractor ever made. So I pretty much checked all those cards off the checklist, except for a few like Bowman, Chrome, Parallels to 5.
A lot of player collectors have, cards that they feel perhaps most difficult to track down amongst all the other cards in their collections. Can you talk about one or two cards that you feel fall into this category? Feel free to mention search duration and any other details you feel necessary.
Well, I mean, like that one black refractor that I was showing you, the 73 one, that card was, I looked for years. I mean, I would literally be on eBay every day. I couldn't find that card. So that was a really tough one to find. Then when I was completing that, the white suede set, it was like card number 15 never popped up. I ended up having to find that card through like Facebook on some guy that knew a guy that had like all these cards he was selling, and that was the only way I picked it up. Another one that was tough to find, it was like the 2006 Bowman Chrome Blue refractor. And then there's actually one card that I've never seen pop up on eBay, and it's numbered. It's one of those black border Topps Heritage refractors, and it's the 2006 one. I've never seen it pop up on eBay.
What are some cards off the top of your head that you're still searching for? I know you mentioned a few, but can you talk about a couple more that maybe, they're on your top 5 list?
The black refractor, of course. You could put all the Bowman Chrome Red refractors on that list. 2005 finest black X-fractor and the gold X-fractor.
How do you archive your collection?
I have like 4 binders full of Bonds cards. So I do it that way. I don't put it in order, though. I'm really bad about like not putting it in order a year. I just usually keep the cards that are like book value, $20 or less in the binders, and then everything else will go into top loaders or magnetics. And I'm slowly phasing out the screw downs, but I do have a few in those old school screw downs.
Do you collect anyone else, and if so, who and why?
I collect everybody that's in the 500 home run club. Anybody in the 3,000 hit club I collect. I collect a lot of Giants players, a lot of A's players. The A's were my team as a young kid, and then now the Giants are my team, but I still like the A's a little bit. I collect a lot of vintage. I actually completed a 59 set.
Let's see that mantle.
Okay. So I could tell. Actually, I have a video on my YouTube channel that explains why I completed the 59 set. Yeah, it's hard to just focus on one player. Sometimes you just got to do something else. So
if you weren't collecting Barry Bonds, who would you be collecting, like PC wise?
Someone like Buster Posey, I would say. Griffey, McGuire, someone like that. And it's Tiffany, 89 Bowman Tiffany.
It's a rare card to find in top shape. That's just a tough card.
Yeah, well, this one is like notoriously off-center, but an 8 was good enough for me just because it has good eye appeal.
Absolutely.
And it's just a great. I always like the 89 Bowman set. I don't know what it is. People dog on it all the time.
It's the sizing. That's
really
where they went wrong, was the sizing, because it always sticks out of everything and gets damaged. That's the thing.
This is another example of what I like to collect.
The that one's 4 Mays. Love that card.
Yeah. 54 minis. Yeah, these are a little bit wider than the 89 Bowman.
Absolutely. Do you have any future plans for collecting for your collection? And if so, what are they? So some people in this capacity, they mentioned things like an interest in building a website to showcase their collections, or creating a better system of organizing the collection. Those are just two
Yeah,
things.
okay. That is a great question. I absolutely need to create a better system of organizing my collection, especially like it's not so bad if I'm at home, but if I'm at like a card show, that's where it becomes a problem because I'll see a card and I just don't know if I need it.
Mm-hmm.
So half the time I'll just pick it up and hope that I need it. So definitely would like to have it organized like we had talked about earlier. And also a web page would be pretty fun because I've seen other people's web pages. They could be fascinating. Looking at other collections is absolutely fascinating to me sometimes. That's where you discover stuff that you didn't know existed. So that would be fun. I'd like to share that with my friends. I had so much fun putting the 59 set together that I am gonna do another vintage set, but I haven't decided which one. I'm thinking about the 72 top set because that's the year I was born, but I heard the high numbers in that set are a nightmare because there are so many of them. Try to pick up one or two, super rare Bonds cards a year, like big purchases to add to my collection.
Nathaniel, thank you for sitting down with me for this interview. I've had a lot of fun getting to know you and learning about your collections and what you like, and where you're going. And I think the viewers, I appreciate that too, getting to know you. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share?
I guess my final thoughts is I've seen like a lot of collectors getting back into collecting that collected like in the so-called junk era, late 80s, early 90s. And I just would like to think of myself as an ambassador to the hobby. So I always tell people, if you ever have any questions on collecting, feel free to contact me, or if there's any new collectors out there. And the reason why I would like to think of myself as an ambassador to the hobby is because that is what is going to keep this hobby going. This hobby needs people that are going to promote it, to help people along with their collecting, because I see like a lot of people online and they make like collecting mistakes and they comment on it like, oh, I didn't realize this, or I didn't know. And so if I can be of any service to people out there collecting, I would love to do that. And if anybody wants to contact me with questions or anything, just feel free. And I know you're the same way. You've been helpful to me just with articles that you put on Facebook and stuff like that. I've learned a lot, and I appreciate that, and I always want to pass that on to other collectors. So
Excellent.
I just keep this hobby alive, keep it fun.
I love it. Thank you, Nathaniel. And for the viewers, link to Nathaniel's YouTube channel is down below. And I want to thank you, Nathaniel, for taking the time to be interviewed and just talk with me for a while. And it's been great to getting to know you. And good luck with your Bonds pursuits.
Absolutely. I always have fun talking with you. So
awesome.
Thanks for having me. It was great. It was great fun tonight.
Perfect. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Radicards TV on Radicards.com. And until next time, enjoy collecting.